that we are able to serve in some capacity. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi paye, tumhara karuna sar. So we were born in darkness, but spiritual master is so merciful that he engages disciple in different services. So we seek shelter of the parampara, and we take their blessings to resume our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. As we discussed yesterday, it's a very vast topic, and to cover it in a short time is impossible. We are just trying to have a bird view glance over Srimad Bhagavatam. So yesterday we covered up to the discussion of Vidur and Maitreya. Maitreya heard the divine teachings from Krishna himself when Krishna was finally preparing to depart from this material world. He gave instructions to Uddhav and Maitreya. Later, when Vidura was doing his pilgrimage, he comes across Uddhav. And he asks Uddhav that please guide me on the spiritual path. Uddhav, following the proper etiquette of Vedic culture, Uddhav tells that Maitreya is more senior to me. Although I was with Krishna, but Maitreya is more advanced in age, more advanced in realization. So you should seek his guidance. So on instruction of Uddhav, Vidur goes and take guidance from Maitreya Rishi. So yesterday we discussed how Maitreya Rishi was perfectly describing the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam to Vidura. Then he continues describing the birth of four Kumaras. They are the first beings of the universe. They are born from the mind of Brahma. And as soon as they were born, Brahma says that you should increase the population of the world. The four Kumaras reply that we know when we marry, our time will belong to our wife. So we don't want to marry. Brahma said, okay, you are children now. When you grow up, I will marry all of you. So four Kumaras said, okay, that is your plan. So we will never grow up. We'll remain children only. So although they are the oldest beings of this universe, but they chose to remain 5-year-old boys. And they travel all over the universe preaching the glories of the Lord. Later, Maitreya Rishi also described about the birth of Manu and Shatrupa. And then this description comes of Lord's first incarnation. Actually, not first incarnation, but one of the first incarnations, Varahadev. So it so happened that Kashyap Muni was one time sitting in his Sandhya, in his meditation. And Kashyap has two wives, Aditi and Diti. Aditi is the mother of demigods. Diti was the younger one, and she approaches Kashyap for procreating children. Kashyap explains to her that, look, this is not the appropriate time. This is evening time. Evening time is meant for sadhana. Evening time is meant for remembering the Lord. And moreover, this is the time where Lord Shiva travels with his associates. So if you engage in sexual activities in this time, the progeny will be impious. The progeny will be influenced with mode of ignorance. But Diti was very adamant. She couldn't take to the advice of Kashyap Muni, and she was very adamant and she insisted to have child. Kashyap Muni had to agree to her demand. And then later on, Diti herself laments. She feels that she did a big mistake. See, this is the nature of material world. First, we become scum to our desires, and later on we lament. But if we can just think for a little while before doing any activity, then we can save ourselves from so much disaster. Srila Prabhupada used to say that this slogan, just do it, is for the animals. But human being is one who does things after thinking twice, not just once, after thinking twice. So we have to think before what we do. But Diti couldn't control her senses that time. And after they had intercourse, Diti was lamenting. And Diti came to Kashyap and told that we did a big mistake. Kashyap told, look, whatever is done is done. You will get two sons who will create a great disturbance to the demigods. Not only that, but they will disturb the religious activities. They will kill many Brahmanas. Diti was very terrified. She started to cry. But Kashyap gave her solace. Kashyap told that although these two sons of yours will be great demons, but in their line only, in their lineage only, there will be a pure devotee of Lord. When he will take birth, he will deliver all generations of this lineage. Who was that? He was Prahlad Maharaj. So Diti became little pacified on hearing about the grandson like Prahlad Maharaj. When these two demonic sons of Diti were in the womb, they were so impious that their presence in womb of Diti created darkness in all directions. Demigods were seeing that there is darkness all around. What is the reason? What happened? Is there eclipse? But eclipse lasts only for few minutes. How come this darkness for so long? So these demigods went to Brahma, and demigods asked Brahma, please tell why there is so much darkness in all directions. Then Brahma tells, there are two demons who are going to take birth from the womb of Diti. Demigods said that we have seen many demons. How come these demons are so powerful that they are creating darkness in all directions even before their birth? What they will do after taking birth? Then Brahma tells their history. How these demons came to the womb of Diti. So one time in Vaikuntha, four Kumaras, the first children of Brahma, they visit Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means where there is no misery. Vaikuntha, no kuntha, no misery. Why there is no misery? Because there are no anarthas. There is no envy. There is no anger. There is no hatred. There is no bodily conception. Beautiful birds, when they sing in melodious voice, when they hear a bumblebee wants to glorify the Lord, they all stop singing. It is the world of service, where nobody is envious of other people. There's so many fragrant flowers which are so beautiful and so fragrant. But since they know Krishna likes Tulsi the most, they appreciate Tulsi as their leader. Although externally, if we see Tulsi plant is not as beautiful as other uh, decorative plants, or it may not have fragrance like other fragrant flowers like mogra, etc. But all flowers consider Tulsi to be their leader because Krishna likes Tulsi. So this is Vaikuntha, where everyone is just engaged in glorifying the Lord. In Vaikuntha, everybody has their own plane, and they go along with their wives on that plane. But what they do, they both glorify the Lord. Srila Prabhupada tells that if we glorify Lord, if we make the glorification of Lord center of our families, then family attachments won't affect us. In fact, in Golok Vrindavan, there are no sannyasis. They're only householders. And they're so beautiful that in front of beauty of this residents of Vaikuntha, this Miss Universe or Miss World are like cockroach. They are ugly. They're so beautiful. But then also, their attachment is with Krishna. They live together, they take care of each other, but their main center of lives are Krishna. So that was Vaikuntha. And on Vaikuntha, the door of Vaikuntha, there were two doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay. Now let us think, nobody can reach Vaikuntha without qualification. Nobody can reach Vaikuntha without qualification. To take one to Vaikuntha, a special airplane comes from Vaikuntha, and then only somebody can enter into Vaikuntha. So in one sense, there is no need of Jai and Vijay, because practically there is no service of stopping anybody, because whoever is coming there is already qualified. Without qualification, anyway, nobody can reach Vaikuntha. But then also Jai Vijay was kept as doorkeepers, and they were doing their service nicely. They were not having any complaint that, look, there are so many other services here and practically we are doing nothing standing here. No. Each service is great. We should not have any choice that, oh, I'll do this service. We should be attached to the service attitude, not to the activity of service. Today we are given service of cooking, that is best for us. Tomorrow we will be given service of cleaning, that will be best for us. Maybe someday we will be asked to give lecture, that will be best for us. Definition of service is activity which makes us humble. That is the meaning of menial service. If I am throwing dustbin and cleaning toilets and that is making me proud, that is not menial service. Whereas somebody may be giving a lecture for 7 days, but if he is feeling humble after that, that is menial service. So Jai Vijay were standing on the door without any complaints. Whatever Lord you gave me, we are happy with that service. Similarly, we see example of Hanuman. In the battle of Mahabharata, Lord Krishna calls Hanuman. And Hanuman thinks that, okay, in one war with Ravan, I did so much. I fought with so many demons. I alone burned Lanka. So maybe Lord want me to engage in this battle of Mahabharata also. But what did Krishna tell Hanuman? You have one service. Just sit on the flag of Arjun. That is your service. And when Arjun will attack somebody, you have to just make loud roaring sound. That is your service. Hanuman didn't tell, oh Lord, did you forget what I did in Ramayana? You want me to do this small job of just sitting on the flag and roaring, where Arjun will get all credit? No, that is not the spirit of service. The spirit of service is whatever Krishna wants, whatever Guru wants, we are ready. Anytime, anywhere, anything. This should be the motto of devotees. Any service, anytime, anything, we are ready to serve. So Jay and Vijay were engaged in such service, although there was nothing, nobody has to, there were no trespassers. But then also Jay and Vijay were standing and they saw these four Kumaras entering Vaikuntha. Now, these four Kumaras, as we discussed, were small children, a 5-year-old. They never wore clothes. And when these Jay and Vijay saw these four naked children roaming around, they stopped. Jay and Vijay told that you can't enter Vaikuntha like this. Lord Narayan is taking rest. Now, this was a mistake. When we have materialistic view, we have materialistic vision towards devotees, we make mistakes. We have to learn to see devotees spiritually. Imagine a person enters your house, a fat person with a big belly and 13 children. If he enters your house, what you will think? You'll think, oh, such a family person, he is caught up in family responsibilities, and look at his body, he is eating so much. Now imagine Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had so many children. He had body like that. But if we look materially, then we will commit offenses. Externally, we can't judge any devotee. There was one rishi and he was doing austerities underwater. He saw that Garud comes and eats fishes. And he thinks that what kind of devotee is he? Does devotee eat fish? He doesn't he know 482 principles? And he curses Garuda. Devotee can't be judged externally. Later on, he falls down because of fish only. We will hear this story in subsequent chapters. But the point is, we have to see devotees spiritually. And that was Jay and Vijay's mistake. They stopped four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, they discussed among themselves, how can these guards see us materially? This is a spiritual world. This is Vaikuntha. To enter in Vaikuntha, you have to rise above bodily platform. And you are still judging people externally. That means you are not fit to stay in a spiritual world. They curse Jay and Vijay that you are not fit to stay in the spiritual world. May you take birth in material world. As soon as they are cursed, Lord Vishnu comes on the scene. Lord Vishnu, as soon as he appears, four Kumaras smell the tulsi offered on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Now, so long, four Kumaras were worshippers of impersonal Brahman. But as they smelled the tulsi flowers offered on the lotus feet of Vishnu, they became Vaishnavas. And not only that, they saw humility of Vishnu. Lord Vishnu started to ask forgiveness from four Kumaras. He told four Kumaras that it is my mistake. Four Kumaras said, no, it's Jay and Vijay, not you. Lord Vishnu says, no. Master is responsible for the mistake of his subjects. In material world, we see just opposite. If some staff makes any mistake, master will just forsake him. Or in big companies, what they do, if some leader makes some mistake, they find some person who can take the blame and they put all blame on him and that person is fired. We have also seen one time, like one person was driving and he met some accident. He drove over one animal. And immediately their servant was sitting at back. He told, you come in front. And this person sat in back so that police will catch this servant. But look at Vaikuntha, it's just opposite. Lord Vishnu is coming and saying, I am responsible for my servant's mistake. So please forgive me. And what to speak about my servants? If my own hands get raised on my devotees out of anger, if by chance it happens that I become angry on my devotees and my hands get raised to harm my devotees, I will not think for a moment to cut my own hands. What to speak about my servants? This is Lord Vishnu's love for his devotees. Four Kumaras started to lament that, no, my lord, we should have waited for your arrival. We were too fast in cursing. Then Lord Vishnu said, no, it was my plan. I wanted them to go to material world. Why? Why you want like that? Lord Vishnu said, I want some change. In Vaikuntha, everyone respect me so much. Everyone give me so much worship, adoration. I am sick of this. I want some change. I want to fight. I want somebody to abuse me. I want somebody to, criticize me. Now, who can criticize the Lord? So Lord said that my devotee only had to do this role. So therefore, it was my plan that these two doorkeepers of mine, they go to material world and there they act like my enemies. So Jay and Vijay also asked for forgiveness and Lord gave them two choices. Either you go to material world for 7 lifetimes as my devotees, or you go to material world for 3 lifetimes as my enemies. Jay Vijay said, okay, the second option is better so that we finish the business as soon as possible and we come back soon. So on instruction of Lord Vishnu, Jay and Vijay accepted that. Now, Vishnu empowers these two devotees to be demons. Imagine if Lord himself empowers for something, how big that empowerment would be. People may be demanding with their own strength, but here Lord empowered them to become demons. For them, demigods were like mosquitoes. For them, earth and all were like playing balls. So these were such powerful demons. Prabhupada writes in his purport, Krishna Shakti bina nahi tar pravartan, Kali Kale Krishna Naam Sankirtan. In this world, nothing is possible without Krishna's empowerment. And if Krishna empowers a specific living entity for a specific thing, nobody can stop that person. One such example is Srila Prabhupada himself. Krishna empowered him to preach. Nobody could stop him. His family didn't support, no problem. His health didn't support, no problem. His godbrothers didn't support, no problem. The country he went to, America, at that time, there was no Indian culture. And on the top of it, there was a hippie movement going on where they thought anybody who is above 30 is insane. Imagine, Prabhupada was 70 years old. Nothing was favorable. But then also Prabhupada did this miracle of preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. Krishna Shakti bina nahi tar pravartan. We just have to have faith. Prabhupada had faith. Therefore, he could do that. Who could think otherwise that Krishna consciousness will go all over the world? To places like Iron Curtain, places like Russia, places like Africa. One time, Srila Prabhupada was giving lecture in Africa, and the people who were hearing lectures, they were whatever mosquitoes and flies were flying, they were catching it and eating in the lecture itself. Prabhupada was thinking, my God, what kind of people are they? And then Prabhupada saw some of the audience, they were wearing saffron robes. How they got saffron robes? So when Prabhupada saw little, more clearly, he saw it was his clothes. They stole Prabhupada's clothes and they were wearing that. So Prabhupada told there are 4 Reviter principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And there's 5th Reviter principle also: don't steal spiritual master's clothes. So who can think, all these places Srila Prabhupada preached, and he established highest standards of Krishna consciousness. So it doesn't happen without Lord's empowerment. So Jay and Vijay were empowered by Lords. Lord desired that you become demons. So the elder one was Hiranyakashipu and younger one was Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyaksha was so attached to gold. Hiranya means gold. And he was so attached to gold that he started stealing gold. Now all these minerals in earth create balance in the planet so that the planet remain in its orbit. But as this Hiranyaksha was stealing the gold, what happened? Earth became imbalanced. And as a result, Earth fell in Rasatal, the lower planetary system. As Earth fell in Rasatal, all demigods, everybody was very much worried. And they prayed Lord Vishnu that please rescue the Earth. And this Hiranyaksha will create more and more disturbance. Please kill him. So then Lord appeared from Brahma's nose as Varahadev. Vara means a boar, a pig. Krishna came as Vara. Why he came as Vara? Because Krishna thought, I have to search earth in a filthy place, in Rasatal. And that is a job of a boar. Boar does that. So it's appropriate for me to take form of a boar. So Krishna came as Varahadev, and all demigods gathered and started to glorify the Lord. Lord came and he went and took earth. He wanted to rescue the earth first, but in the meantime, on the way, he met Hiranyaksha. So there was a great fight. So much so that demigods became worried. that why this fight is going for so long time. Hiranyaksha was attacking the Lord, and Lord was attacking Hiranyaksha. And at one time, Hiranyaksha attacked so strongly that Varadev's club slipped from his hand. So demigods became worried. What is happening? Is Hiranyaksha going to defeat Varadev? And evening also approached. There was like night time already. So demigods prayed to Lord that, my dear Lord, night is approaching. And in night, these demigods, these demons become more powerful. So you can kill him. Don't play for a long time. So Varadev so thought that I was just enjoying. I have made him to come to this world, and I'll just kill him in short way. It's not nice. I need to play for some time. That was the purpose of sending him here. So let me enjoy. But demigod said, no, Lord, we are very fearful. Please kill him. So then Varadev went near Hiranyaksha and just slapped him mildly, and Hiranyaksha died. So long he was just playing with him. And now Hiranyaksha died. Varadev went in Rasatal. He rescued earth. On his two tusks, he kept earth, and he came outside Rasatal and established earth on its orbit. From the touch of Varadev, earth gave birth to one child. He was called Bhauma. The son of Bhumi is called Bhauma. And because Lord became wet in Rasatal, he just shook his body, just like pigs do. And the water sprinkled in the 14 planetary systems, and all demigods became purified just by the water coming from the body of Varadev. So that was a beautiful description of Lord Varadev's incarnation. Then later, Maitreya Rishi describes about Swayambhava Manu. Swayambhava Manu is son of Brahma. Brahma is called Swayambhu. Why is called Swayambhu? Because Brahma doesn't have mother. Brahma just comes from the lotus, from the navel of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, he is called Swayambhu. And the son of Swayambhu is called Swayambhuva Manu. So this Manu is son of Brahma. And Brahma told him, Manu, you have to increase the progeny, you have to increase the population of this world. So Manu had 3 daughters, Devahuti, Akuti, and Prashuti, and 2 sons, Priyavrat and Uttanpat. So 5 children. And this description of these 5 children will go on till 5th canto. So whole 4th canto and 5th canto, the rest of the 3rd canto, these 2.5 cantos just describe the family of Swayambhu Manu, 3 daughters and 2 sons. So first we start with Devahuti, is the first daughter of Swayambhu Manu. So there was a very austere sage named as Kardam Muni. He was one of the Prajapatis. Prajapatis are those who are meant to increase the population of the world. So he was doing great austerities to prepare himself for that task. And by becoming happy with his austerities, Lord Vishnu appears. Kardam Muni offers beautiful prayers to Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu understands the desire in Kardam Muni's heart that he wants to marry. So when Lord understands that desire, Lord himself arranges for his marriage. Lord Vishnu says that tomorrow Manu will come with his daughter. Accept him as your wife. See, nothing is bondage in this world. People say marriage is bondage, or somebody may say renunciation is bondage. Nothing is bondage. If you engage in Krishna's service, everything will help in Krishna's service. It will be an asset. But if we are attached to our own sense gratification, that even though you will be living alone in the cave of Himalaya, you will do sense gratification only. But if somebody is attached to service of the Lord, even in Grihasthashram, he can do nice service. One another example is Jayadev Goswami. Every day we sing Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Madhubuddha Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. This is one stanza from Dashavatara Stotra. And this is written by Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami also wrote his masterpiece Geet Govinda, which every day Lord Jagannath hears before taking rest. So such elevated soul like Jayadev Goswami, he wanted to remain brahmachari. But Lord saw that he is feeling a lot of difficulty. He can't concentrate, he can't take care of himself nicely, and he had to prepare his own food. So these all are problems in his devotional service. In the meantime, there was one Brahmana who was not having any child. So he promised Lord Jagannath that, my dear Lord, if I get a boy, I will make him as your priest. And if I get a girl, I will marry her to you. And that Brahmana gets a girl. So what to do? When this girl became mature, this Brahmana left that girl in the temple of Lord Jagannath. Now Lord gave dream to this Brahmana. You don't leave your girl like this. Brahmana said, no, I promised you, I'll marry you. Lord Jagannath said, okay, you want to offer a girl to me? Go to Jayadev Goswami and marry your girl to Jayadev Goswami. So this Brahmana comes to Jayadev Goswami with his girl. And he tells Jayadev Goswami that it is Jagannath's desire that you marry my girl. Jayadev Goswami, no, I am brahmachari. I don't need any girl. I don't need any bondage. I don't need any responsibility. I just want to serve the Lord. The Brahmana said, no, Lord Jagannath wants you to marry. So please accept. But Jayadev Goswami was not ready. So this Brahmana left that girl with Jayadev Goswami and went back home. Now this girl was sitting there and Jayadev Goswami was doing his work. That night, Lord Jagannath came in dream of Jayadev Goswami. Lord Jagannath said, Jayadev, this girl will help you in your devotional service. Don't be a fanatic. I am telling you to marry. Maya will not affect you. Just marry and serve nicely. So that way we are seeing repeatedly, it's not about renunciation or being in the family life. It's about our consciousness. We already heard last class about Bhishma Dev. He was a Naishtik Brahmachari. And we also hearing today about Kardam Muni, who desired to marry. So both examples are there. But main thing is how our consciousness is in Krishna's lotus feet. So next day, as per Lord's statement to Kardam Muni, Manu came. And Manu brought his daughter, beautiful Devahuti. She was the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. We can imagine. Manu is the in charge of whole Manvantar. He was the king of the whole universe. And a daughter of king like that, how beautiful she must be. And here is Kardam Muni, who was so austere. He used to live in a hermitage where there was scorpions and snakes. They were his roommates. And he was having this jata on his head and his whole body was covered with ashes. But Devahuti was married to Kardam Muni on the instruction of Lord. And Devahuti also surrendered herself fully. She didn't complain. I should be married to a prince. No, Devahuti was not like that. She accepted Lord's desire and she married Kardam Muni. Now, as soon as they were married, Kardam Muni sat in Samadhi for a long time. There was no honeymoon. There was no going out. There was no enjoyment. As soon as they were married, Kardam Muni went in Samadhi. And Devahuti was serving Kardam Muni. Sometimes some people ask, if Kardam Muni was in Samadhi, how Devahuti served? See, if he was not in Samadhi, then Devahuti would have cooked for him. He would have cleaned his clothes, things like that. But since Kardam Muni was in Samadhi, what type of service Devahuti was doing? So one devotee tells that not disturbing your husband is service to your husband. When he's practicing Krishna consciousness, don't disturb him unnecessarily. That is a service. Otherwise, what happens when husband becomes sincere, he wants to go to program, he want to preach, he want to do his japa nicely. Wife keeps on demanding. If wife becomes, a helping hand to husband, he can do devotional service nicely, and that is a service. So Devhuti was assisting Kardam Muni by not disturbing her, by just taking care of the hermitage, cleaning everything. When there is winter, he would light fire. When there is summer, he would fan Kardam Muni. And she was so absorbed in serving Kardam Muni that her whole body became emaciated. She lost all her beauty. She lost all her weight. She was completely absorbed in service. So after a long time, Kardam Muni came back to his external consciousness and he saw Devahuti. He saw that how Devahuti became so lean and thin. She lost her beauty. She lost her glow. Kardam Muni became very compassionate. And Kardam Muni blessed Devahuti that please go to that pond, to the Sarovar, and take bath. When she took bath in that Sarovar, Devahuti regained her beauty. And Kardam Muni said, I am so pleased with your austerities. I am so pleased with your dedication to serve me that I give half result of my tapasya to you. So see, this is the result of sincere service. We may not be qualified. We may have so many shortcomings. But if we serve our Guru nicely, if we serve our Acharyas nicely, they will give their devotion to us. We are not qualified for that devotion. Devahuti didn't do any austerity. She just served Kardam Muni. In the same way, we may not be having so much affection for service of the Lord. We may not be having so much taste for chanting holy name. But if we just sincerely follow the instruction of a spiritual master, if we just try to serve him wholeheartedly, Guru fills all the shortcomings. He gives his tapasya, his result of tapasya to us. So that is the speciality of Guru Seva. So like that, these wonderful dealings of Kardam Muni and Devahuti were going. And then Kardam Muni says that Devahuti, one thing touched me very much, that you gave up your independent desires. This is very important. Best austerity or highest austerity is burning our independence. Yes, Krishna gave us free will. But if we give up that free will for the desire, for the satisfaction of a spiritual master, that is biggest austerity. Srila Prabhupada writes one beautiful song in the glorification of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati called Vaishishtashtak. First, he wrote 8 songs in separation of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. They are called Viraha Ashta Ashtak. I'm not sure how many of you have heard those songs, but if you really want to understand Srila Prabhupada's mood as a disciple, we should hear those songs. We should understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada. There are 8 songs in separation of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, which Srila Prabhupada wrote. And then he wrote another 8 songs in remembrance of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati on his Vyasa Puja. That is called Vaishishtashtak. So the end statement, the end verse of that song is, Prabhupada says, Swatantrata jar jata houk jalanjali, Deen abhay de aji sei anjali. Srila Prabhupada says that, today, my dear spiritual master, on the day of your Vyasa Puja, I want to offer you a special offering. People offer fruits, people offer flowers, people offer nice Vyasa Puja offerings. But Srila Prabhupada, what he is offering, Anjali. Today I am offering a special Anjali. What is that? Swatantrata jar jata houk jalanjali. I am burning my Swatantrata. I am burning my independence today. And I am submitting my independence in your lotus feet. So please accept this as my offering on this Vyasa Puja. That was Prabhupada's mood as a disciple. So Kardam Muni became so pleased with Devahuti. He takes her on a big airplane. So big so that it was a city in itself. It has big gardens, waterfalls, palace. And Kardam Muni takes Devahuti on that. And he satisfies her with all means. He sets an example of an ideal grihastha. Then, after some time, Devhuti gives birth to a beautiful child. His name was Kapil Muni. See, this is the result of pleasing a spiritual master. When we please spiritual master, then Krishna comes in our life. So Devahuti pleased Kardam Muni and he got son as Kapil Muni, who was the incarnation of Lord. As soon as Kapil Muni was born, Kardam Muni circumambulated Kapil Muni and left for jungle. Because Kardam Muni wanted to set an example that no matter whatever happens, one has to follow his dharma, one has to follow the order of Varnashram. There should be no excuse for not retiring from family life. There should be some point that one should retire from responsibilities. So Kardam Muni left, and then Devahuti comes and offer her pranam to her own son, Kapil Dev. Beautiful prayers. Devahuti prays to Kapil Dev that, my dear Lord, I am the daughter of great incarnation of Lord Swayambhuva Manu. I am the wife of great devotee Kardam Muni. And I am mother of incarnation of Lord yourself. Then also look at my unfortune, look at my misfortune, that I couldn't take benefit of this association. Therefore, I am solidly cheated by Maya. How Maya cheats us? Maya cheats us by not letting us take the benefit of our association. Biggest misfortune is not realizing one's fortune. This is the biggest misfortune. So Devahuti tells Kapil Muni that I got so much opportunity. This daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, wife of Kardam Muni, I'm your mother. But then also Maya cheated me. I could not take your association seriously. So then Kapil Muni encourages his mother by discussing many, many wonderful topics. This whole chapter after chapter, where Kapil Muni discloses beautiful secrets of Krishna consciousness. And Kapil Muni talks about yoga. He talks about different types of bhakti. Different types of bhakti? Yes. Bhakti is also done as 81 types of bhakti. Acha, 81 types? How 81 types? It is as per the mixture of three modes. Somebody who's in the mode of ignorance is also given chance to practice bhakti. Somebody is in the mode of passion also given chance to practice bhakti. And somebody is in the mode of goodness also gets chance. Bhakti is so great that he doesn't reject anyone. Bhakti is so compassionate that he involves everybody in his shelter. Therefore, in the next canto, in fourth canto, there will be description about three devotees. First is bhakti in the mode of ignorance, Daksha Prajapati. Then bhakti in the mode of passion, Dhruva Maharaj. And then bhakti in the mode of goodness, Prithu Maharaj. So Kapil Muni tells all these 81 types of bhakti to Devahuti. And then he also tells about Jiva in the womb. When Jiva is in the womb of mother, Jiva had to undergo a lot of problems. Systematically, Kapil Muni tells how the embryo, develops. Day 1, day 2, first week, second week, third week. Whole systematically how the embryo grows, this description is given in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. People say that science is so advanced. They discovered sonography just few decades back. But 5,000 years back, Kapil Muni already spoken to his mother, how embryo develops in the womb of mother. And not only physical development, mental development also. When he starts to think, when he starts to feel what he's thinking, all these things are described. And then Kapil Muni says that on the 9th month, there's Jiva in the womb. He prays to the Lord that, my dear Lord, I'm suffering very miserably. Please help me. If I come out of this body, I'll become your devotee. I'll chant your name. And then he comes out. That's it. His false promise, he forgets. Bhuliya tumhare sansare ashiya, pe nana vidavyat. My dear Lord, I forgot you. Coming to this world, I am getting so many miseries. When I was in the womb of my mother, Janani Jathare Chilam Jakhon Bishama Bandhan Pashi. When I was in the womb of my mother, I was suffering so badly. That time I prayed to you, Lord, Ek bar Prabhu, dekha diya more, vanchile dinadashi. I prayed to you, my Lord, please be merciful unto me. I'll become your devotee. I promised you. But then, takon bhavinu janama paiya, koribo bhajan tava, janama hoilo padi maya jale, na hoilo jnana lav. When I took birth, I forgot everything. And I lost all my promises to you. Then what happened? Aderera chele, swajanera kole, hasiya katai nukar. My elders were calling me as their own pet son. And my relatives were putting me on their lap. And they were showering so much affection. I was so happy. And Janaka Janani Snehate Buliya. In the love of my mother and father, I forgot you, my Lord. Sansar lagilo bhalo. I started to like this world. I thought that this is my home. Krame dine dine balak hoiya. Bhelinu balak saha. And gradually I grown up. I became a child. And then I started to play with other children. I made so many friends. And I forgot you more, even more. Ar kichu dine gyan upajilo path podi arahan. And then I started to study. And in my studies, I started to think I am so learned, I am so scholarly that day and night I spend time in studies and making my career. Vidyar gaurave brahmi deshe deshe dhyan dhan uparjana kari. And then I started to roam around in different countries to earn money. Very relevant to us. We came to different country to earn money. And then Swajana Palana Kori Ekuman Bhulina Tumare Hari. My one pointed attention was to take care of my relatives, to earn money, to become happy in this material world. Bhulinu Tumare Hari. I forget you, my Lord. Bardekhi Ekhon Bhagati Vinod Kandiya Katarati. Oh my Lord, now I am old. Now I am forsaken by society. Now people left me. I am crying now. Na bajiya tore dina britha gelo. Ekhono ki habe gati. I didn't chant your name. I didn't remain in your association. I could not do your bhajan. And I wasted my whole life. Now what will happen to me? So Kapil Muni is telling the truth of material nature to his mother. That how in the womb child promises the Lord that I will become your devotee, but he is entangled by so many attachments. So then Devhuti says that these attachments are so bad, these attachments are so deadly. How to get rid of these attachments? Kapil Muni says, yes, my mother, these attachments are very bad. Prasangam ajaram pasham, atmana kavayo vidu. These attachments are so deadly that all learned personalities says that they are like pasham, they are like entanglements. And if you want to really get free from attachment, what you should do? Saeva sadhushu krito mokshadaram apavritam. If you really want to be free from attachment, have that same attachment to a pure devotee of Lord. If you're attached to a pure devotee of Lord, mokshadaram apavritam, that will open the doors of liberation, that will open the doors of spiritual world so wide that you can easily enter. That is the glory of a pure devotee of Lord. Attachment leads to entanglement, but same attachment to a pure devotee will liberate us. Therefore, my dear mother, be attached to pure devotee. So then Devhuti asks that how to recognize a pure devotee? How do I recognize who is a pure devotee? Then Kapil Muni says, to recognize a pure devotee, you look at their medals. Just like how you recognize a policeman by seeing his medals. So what are the medals? What are the bhushana of pure devotee? Titikshva, Karunika, Surida, Sarvadehinam, Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. If you really want to recognize a pure devotee, check for these qualities. First is Titikshva. He should be tolerant. One who is not tolerant can't be a pure devotee. Second is Karunika. He's compassionate on the fallen souls. He always wants to help them. Then Surida, he is friendly to everyone, Sarvadehina, not just human beings, everyone. All living entities are Krishna's part and parcel. So pure devotee is Surida Sarvadehina. He is friendly to all living entities. Ajata Shatrava. He doesn't have any enemy. His enemies are never born. He never make any enemy. Shantaha. He is satisfied. That is Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. That is real sadhu. That is the medals of sadhu. So like that, Kapil Muni encourages his mother to surrender to a pure devotee of Lord. Then Devotee prays to Kapil Muni that you have shown me such a path that if one takes shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari, and if he chants his holy name, even though he is from the background of dog eaters, he'll become more qualified than Brahmana. Apparently, he may be a Chandal, but he will become more qualified than Brahmanas. He has already completed all other processes in his previous life. That is my understanding. The Kapil Muni agrees. Yes, that is right understanding. So after this beautiful discourse between Kapil Muni and Devahuti, Kapil Muni leaves for Ganga Sagar and Devahuti leaves her body in remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So thus ends the third canto. And then fourth canto starts with beautiful story of the 9 daughters of Kardam and Devahuti. So Kardam and Devahuti has 9 daughters. And these 9 daughters were married to 9 sages. These 9 sages become the 9 gotras for our human society. People come to that lineage. Somebody may say, I am from Atri Gotra. I am from Kashyap Gotra. I am from Gautam Gotra. So all these different sages are the source of humanity. Some scientists say that we came from monkey, so their Gotra is monkey Gotra. But our Gotra is, we came from the great sages. Srila Prabhupada was once asked, one scientist was asking Prabhupada, then what you do and how you are preaching. Prabhupada was also asking that scientist, what is your job? So that scientist said that I study primitive people, old age people. Prabhupada said, you have so much time to waste. I study advanced people like Saptarishis. I study like advanced people like Brahma. I study advanced people like Vishnu. So that is our real Gotra. We are not coming from monkeys or some animals. Yes, some human beings become monkeys, that is fine. But no monkey can become human beings. So like that, our Gotra comes from these 9 sages. Then another daughter of Swayambhu Manu was Prashuti. So that was about Devahuti. And then there was Prashuti. Prashuti was married to Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati is also another Prajapati like Kardam Muni. He was born by Brahma, and his job was also to increase the population. He was Daksha. He was expert in increasing population. So Daksha Prajapati married to Prashuti, and they gave birth to 16 daughters. 13 of the daughters were married to Dharma, from whom Nar and Narayan were born. Then one daughter was married to Agni, Swaha. 2 more daughters were given to demigods. And the last one, the youngest daughter, who was also called as Dakshayani, Sati, was married to Lord Shiva. This Sati was dearest to Daksha. Now here is the risk. That relation which is closest to our heart has more potential to give us more pain. Those who are more close, they give more pain also. So Dakshayani was closest to Daksha, and they lead to one problem. Now, when Sukdev Goswami was telling this story, Sukdev Goswami just told that Sati was married to Lord Shiva and they had no children. So then Parikshit suddenly asked, how come there are no children? We heard Lord Shiva has two children, Ganesh and Kartikeya. How come there are no children? Sukdev became very happy. Sometimes teacher takes surprise test in between. Are you hearing or not? Are you hearing properly or not? Like I remember, one time I was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj, and it was night time. He was lying on his bed and he was not well. He was having fever. So I thought that he's sleeping, and I was reading. And in Adi Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a few chapters which just give names of devotees. The branch of Chaitanya tree, they give different names. 12th branch is this, 13th branch is this, 14th branch is this. For devotees, new devotees, it is very complicated and sometimes boring. So I was reading that particular section. There were so many names, and I thought, maybe Guruma is already taking rest. So I was just reading fast, just to complete that. And as I was reading, Guruma suddenly asked me between, what was 54th branch? And I became a little scared. Guruma was hearing. Then I had to go back and tell him what was 54th branch. So similarly, he had so many daughters, 16 daughters. So one after another, Sukdev Goswami was telling, oh, this was married to this was married to that, and this was married to that. And Sati was married to Lord Shiva, and there was no son born. Parishit suddenly asked, how come there is no son? The Sukdev Goswami became pleased. Yes, he is hearing attentively. He is not just hearing for the sake of hearing. So then, Sukdev Goswami tells the pastime of Daksha Yajna. There was a great sacrifice Daksha Prajapati arranged. All demigods were invited. And everybody respected Daksha a lot. Because one reason he was the Prajapati, another reason he had so much influence. He was so much respected in demigods that they all stood up as he entered in the assembly of demigods. So Daksha entered and he saw, yes, everybody is giving me respect. Very nice, very nice. And he sees two people are sitting. Who are the two people? One was Lord Brahma and one was Lord Shiva. So now Daksha was so accustomed to get respect that he became slave of this expectation. Sometimes we become the prisoners of our own success. And Daksha was the perfect example of that. He expected respect from everybody. And no matter who, everyone was giving him respect, but he couldn't tolerate even a single person not giving him respect. He said, okay, Brahma is my father. It's okay. Brahma is sitting, no problem. But why didn't Shiva give me respect? That was a serious matter. Now, if we see spiritually, Lord Shiva is the leader of demigods. He is Mahadev. And he is the incarnation of Lord. He is not an ordinary living entity. But Daksha was not thinking all that. Daksha was simply thinking, he is my son-in-law. So again, if you see devotees with material vision, just like Jai Vijay, similar case. If we see devotees externally, bodily, then we will commit offenses. And that's what happened with Daksha. He became so angry that my son-in-law, and he's not respecting me. How can he do that? Daksha stood up and he started to speak. He said, I am going to speak now, not out of envy. See, when person become angry, he starts as if he is the most moral person. But this is the sign of envy. He is angry. He is envious. But he is telling, whatever I am speaking, it's not out of envy. Those who are humble, they don't broadcast they are humble. One time, one devotee was giving Bhagavatam class. And before starting class, he told that I am not qualified to give class and I am most fallen and things like that. And then he gave class. And after some time, they were breakfast time. So he was sitting in a row and some particular item was not served to him. So he became very angry. Why didn't you serve me this item? Then the server told Prabhuji, आप class में तो बोल रहे, you were telling in class you are fallen, you are not qualified, this and that. He said, no, that was my humility. But you should not take it as reality. You should understand that is my humility. No. Whatever you speak must come from heart. So Daksha was saying that I am not speaking out of envy. This Shiva, his name is only Shiva. Shiva means auspicious. But he is the most inauspicious person on earth. My daughter is so beautiful. My daughter is so nice. And he's like a monkey. How come he married my daughter? He has no good qualities. He lives in crematorium. He doesn't take bath. And all ghosts and goblins surround him. I married him just on the word of Brahma. Otherwise, I would have never married. What does that mean? He's indirectly now criticizing Brahma also. So this happens. When we criticize some devotees who are around us, slowly we criticize superiors also. Like suppose I am envious of my god brother. I don't like him. And my Guru Maharaj comes and give him garland. What I'll say? Oh, Guru Maharaj don't know how sinful he is. Guru Maharaj loves him. Why Guru Maharaj loves him? Doesn't Guru Maharaj know how fallen he is? That means now I'm finding fault in my Guru Maharaj also. So these offenses grow. They don't, stay in one level. So Lord Shiva was offended, Brahma was offended, and Daksha cursed Lord Shiva. It became so serious. Daksha cursed Lord Shiva that from today on, this Shiva will not get any share of Vedic sacrifices. No share. No oblations will be offered on Shiva's name. Lord Shiva was happy. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says why he was happy? Because, Lord Shiva had to sit with all these demigods who are karmis and take these offerings of the sacrifices. From today, he will not be required to take offerings with these materialistic demigods. So he will be more peaceful now. So Shiva took it as a blessing, but other associates of Lord Shiva were not happy. They started to curse Daksha. That Daksha, how can you curse Lord Shiva? He is the well-wisher of the whole human society. He is the well-wisher of the whole world. So today, from the same mouth you uttered this curse, your head will be chopped off. And Bhrigu was laughing. So these associates of Lord Shiva said that Bhrigu, the same teeth will be broken. So like that, there's so many counter curses and curses in that assembly. Lord Shiva stood up and he left. See, there is an English saying, it takes whole village to raise a child. If one person in community is not in proper consciousness, he can spoil the whole mood of the community. It took just Daksha's anger to spoil the whole yajna. In the same way, if we want to keep a nice environment in society, even one devotee can do it. If he has proper mood, if he is nicely surrendered to his spiritual master, his presence will positively affect others. But if somebody is a critic, somebody is an offender, his presence will negatively affect everyone. So that's what happened. One person spoiled the mood of whole community. Now Shiva came back to his place and Sati was there, Shiva's wife. After some time, Sati saw in sky, there were so many airplanes going. Where they were going? Daksha was doing another yajna, Vajpayee yajna. And this time, Daksha didn't even invite Lord Shiva. It was an insult. But Sati saw all her sisters were going. Sati had 15 other sisters. All sisters nicely decorated. They were going in aeroplanes to Daksha Yajna. And Sati was seeing from Kailash My all sisters are going, all demigods are going. And she became afflicted by the emotions. She came in front of Lord Shiva that please allow me to go to Dakshayagya. Lord Shiva said, look, where you are not invited, where you are not appreciated, you should not go. And if you go to such place, you can even lose your life. Lord Shiva warned Sati that you can lose your life. Don't go there. But Sati was very adamant. Sati said that, see, I will not disturb you. Let me go. One can go to father's place, friend's place, guru's place without invitation. Shastras tell that. You can go to friend, father, guru's place without invitation. You don't need invitation. But Shiva says, yeah, that is true. But what if your father doesn't want you there? See, he doesn't like me. And because you are connected to me, he will not give you also proper reception. So you can't tolerate that. But Sati was adamant, no, my father loves me very much. He named me as Dakshayani. I am her pet daughter. She loves me very much. Let me go. And don't worry, I will not trouble you. I will wear those ornaments which my father gave. And indirectly, Sati is telling, you never gave me any gift anyway. You never gave me any ornament. My father gave me ornaments which are kept. I'll wear those ornaments and I will go. I'll not trouble you. So when Shiva said that, okay, she's so adamant, Shiva didn't respond and Sati decided to go. Now people sometimes ask that Shiva could have stopped Sati. Why didn't Shiva stop Sati? But see, when a disciple is too adamant, Guru has to allow. One time, one person, one devotee came to Srila Prabhupada and he told Prabhupada, I am not at all happy with my marriage. I want divorce. And Prabhupada said, okay, you can have divorce. When he left, devotees came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, how did you give permission? You are against divorce. It's not our Vedic culture to have divorce. How can you allow this? Srila Prabhupada said, look, he already decided to take divorce. And if I would have told him not to take divorce, it would be Guru Avagya. He would have overruled my instruction and that would have destroyed his Krishna consciousness. So to save him in Krishna consciousness, I allowed, okay, you have divorce, but at least practice Krishna consciousness. So in the same way, Sati so long didn't offend Lord Shiva. But imagine if Lord Shiva would be very particular that no, you can't go to Dakshayagya, and Sati still would have gone, that it would be offense to Lord Shiva. Therefore, Shiva was silent. Maunam sammati lakshanam. Okay, you want to do it. So then Sati left and Shiva sent Nandi and other associates with Sati to accompany her. Sati goes with lot of expectation. She was thinking that my father will embrace me, my father will welcome me, my mother will give me a lot of attention. But to her surprise, when Sati goes to Dakshayagya, she was completely neglected. Daksha didn't look at her also. And fearing Daksha, even mother and sisters were also neglecting Sati. Sati felt so bad, so hurt. And Sati started to tell Daksha that you are becoming envious to my husband, and you think that my husband is not a auspicious person, and you are hating me because of my relationship with my husband. I am ashamed that I took birth from your body. This body belongs to you. I don't want this body. I will burn this body. And there itself, Sati actually generates fire from her own power and burns herself, gives up her body. Now here Lord Shiva gets the news that Sati burned herself. Lord Shiva becomes very angry. With his one hair, Lord Shiva produced Veerbhadra, and he sends Veerbhadra to take care of the yajna. Veerbhadra destroys whole Vajpayee yajna. He breaks teeth of Bhrigu. He uproots mustache of those who are laughing on Sati and Shiva. And he cut head of Daksha. Now, all demigods were worried, The The main Yajman, the main host of Yajna, now died. And if Yajna is not complete, then it will create inauspiciousness on all world. What to do? All demigods came and requested Lord Shiva, please help us. Now imagine somebody killed. Actually, Sati destroyed herself, but what was the reason? Reason was Daksha. So in a way, Daksha killed Sati. Somebody would have killed your wife. Would you help that person? Shiva is Ashutosh. He becomes angry, but he becomes pacified also very quickly. Shiva says, all right, I'll come. Lord Shiva comes to the spot and he gives back life to Daksha. He gives a head of a goat to Daksha. And with that goat head, Daksha offered prayers to Lord Shiva. He said, I did a big mistake. And then Yajna continued, and then Lord Vishnu came and blessed. So the lesson behind this whole episode is those who offend devotees, they go in big trouble. So when we see in our community that somebody is offending devotees, we should help him. They need sincere help. We have to save them timely. Otherwise, if they cross a limit, they will create destruction not only to themselves, but to whole community. So it's our responsibility to help those people who are criticizing or offending devotee. Otherwise, if it's not handled timely, it will destroy the whole community. So like that, Daksha Yajna is very instructive, so many beautiful lessons. After that, Sukadeva Goswami describes about Swayambhuva Manu's sons. First son is Priyavrata. His story will come in 5th canto. But now second son is described first, is Uttanpad. Uttanpad was the ruler of the whole world. Priyavrata went to do austerities, but Uttanpad became the king. And he had two wives, Suruchi and Sunuti. Suruchi had one son, Uttam. Suniti had one son, Dhruv. Now Suruchi was very favorite to the king. She stayed in the palace. But Suniti was not that favorite. So she had to stay a little farther. And Dhruv would stay with Suniti. One day, Dhruva became emotional, or he wanted to get the affection of his father. He came to palace and he wanted to sit in the lap of Uttanpad. As he was trying to sit in the lap of Uttanpad, Dhruva's stepmother Suruchi comes. And Suruchi speaks very harsh words to Dhruva. Suruchi tells, do you want to sit in the lap of your father? You are not eligible. If you want to sit, you have to worship Narayan and then you take birth from my womb. Then you are eligible to sit in your father's lap. Indirectly, Suruchi is telling Dhruva to die. Otherwise, how he'll take birth again? That means Dhruva had to die. Imagine just small boy, 5 years old. Stepmother is telling such harsh words. Now this conversation Maitri is telling Vidura. Vidura could relate with this pastime. Why? If you remember, in last session we discussed, Duryodhan also spoke harsh words to Vidura. And Vidura left palace. So Vidura could relate with Dhruva. Yes, I know how painful it is. When somebody speaks harsh words and you have to leave your own home, how difficult it is. Dhruva became so angry. His whole body was trembling. His lips were quivering. His eyes were hot. He was crying. And in that condition, he comes to his mother Suniti. Now look at these characters. So exemplary. Suniti was neglected queen. Uttanpad didn't take Suniti's care properly. And Suruchi was her pet queen. Look at the names. Suruchi. Ruchi means your interest. Suniti. Niti means the instructions of Shastras. Many a times we go by our likings and we neglect the instructions of Shastras. That creates trouble. The day we start to give more importance to Niti than Ruchi, we become religious, we become character person, we becomes moral person, we become person of dharma. But most of the people at most of the times they give more importance to suruchi, their own interest and likings, than suniti, the instructions of the shastras. Suniti tells Dhruva, Dhruva, don't have any malice at heart. That should not be there. Whatever we are undergoing is by Lord's will. Don't accuse anybody. Don't blame anybody. Yes, if you really want to achieve this goal, your stepmother has told right. Worship Narayan. Dhruva asks mother, where I'll find Narayan? Where is he? Suniti says, I heard sages worship him in the forest. So you can go in forest. Imagine a mother whose husband left her, practically left, neglected her, and is only 5 years old child with her. She's instructing her to go in forest. It's not easy. This Suniti, and then in Ramayana we hear about Sumitra. When Ram gets Vanvas, Ram wanted to go in forest. Sita follows. And there's beautiful conversation between Sita and Lord Ram. And they both agree. But then Lakshman also wanted to join. And Lord Ram said, Lakshman, first take permission of your mother. So Lakshman goes to Sumitra. And Lakshman asks that, Mother, Ram got Vanvas and I want to follow him. Can I go? Sumitra chastised Lakshman. He said, Lakshman, why are you coming to me? Tat tumhari mat vede, pita Ram sab bhati sanehi. Tat, my dear son, tumhar mat vede, your mother is Sita. I am not your mother. Your mother is Sita. And Pita Ram, your father is Ram. Sab bhati sanehi. He loves you unconditionally. So don't ask me. Just go. Just go with Ram and Sita. In the same way, Suniti tells Dhruva, Dhruva, Lord Narayan is so merciful. Millions of mothers cannot give that much love which Lord Narayan can give you. So don't worry. Just go. Surrender unto him. And you will achieve the desired result. This 5-year-old boy taking instructions of his mother as his life and soul. He goes further. And when he goes in forest, he meets Narad Muni. Now Narad Muni tests Dhruva. Narad Muni says, Dhruva, where are you going? He said, I'm going to worship Narayan. Why you want to worship Narayan? I want to have kingdom greater than my forefathers. Your forefathers? Uttanpad, Manu, Brahma. So greater than Brahma means you must have bigger kingdom than Brahma. You must have bigger kingdom than material world. Dhruva said, yes. Narad Muni said, children don't take offenses seriously. Go back home, Dhruva. Your father, I will explain to your father, he will make you sit on his lap. That is the problem, na? You want to sit in your father's lap. I will tell Uttanpad to make you sit in his lap. So go back home. Dhruva said, no. If you want to help me, then help. Otherwise, give me the way I want to go. Narad understood, yes, this boy is determined. Why he was determined? He took instructions of his mother seriously. That is the role of Siksha Guru. See, Siksha Guru will give us instructions and then Diksha Guru will test it. Then he will give his mercy. So Narad Muni tested Dhruva. How serious is he? Sometimes we feel that, oh, our Guru Maharaj is giving lectures, same point every time. Every time he comes, he said, chant nicely. Every time he comes, he'll be humble. Why can't he tell us more, deeper things? We are not following that much. Therefore, he's not telling deeper things. If we follow that, then he can go in higher topics also. So that is the thing. Narad Muni tested Dhruva. Is he ready or not? When he saw that yes, Dhruva is ready, he is determined. Then Narad Muni gave him mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva, go to Vrindavan and in that forest, chant this mantra and you will get the association of Lord Narayan. So Dhruva goes to Vrindavan and on the bank of Yamuna, He started his crash course of 6 months. First month he was just on fruits. Then he left fruits and just took some leaves. Then he stopped taking leaves also. He was just on water. After he gave water, he just was on air. And then he stopped taking air also. See, with time, our devotional service should increase. It should become more intensified. ऐसा नहीं कि previously I used to chant so much, I should dance so much, and now, no, now, it's okay. Now let new devotees do. No. With time, our enthusiasm should increase. With time, our devotional service should increase. With time, our dedication should increase. And that's what Dhruva taught by his own example. Every month, he was intensifying his devotional service. And on 6th month, what happened? His austerities were so severe that choked the air supply of demigods. That demon says devotees have so much power. Their devotional service can nourish the whole world, and if they are not happy, that can choke the whole world. Sometimes people ask that there are so many sinful people on this earth now. They are killing so many cows. They're doing so many sinful activities. They are, practically breaking all principles of scriptures. Then why Mother Earth is still giving rains? Why there still rains on time? Why sun is still coming and giving light and heat? Because still there are few devotees on earth. Till the time there are few devotees on earth, Mother Nature will supply all these demands. The day there will be no devotee, Mother Earth will stop giving anything. Nature will stop giving anything. So Dhruva choked his air. So how can others can take, breathe? Everybody's air supply was choked. The demigods were suffocating. They came to Lord and said, "My dear Lord, please help us." And Lord Vishnu came down and he appeared in front of Dhruva. Dhruva opened his eyes. He saw Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu in front of him. A small boy, he doesn't even know how to glorify, how to offer prayers. Lord Vishnu saw this innocence of this boy and he touched his conch shell on his head. By the touch of conch shell of Lord Vishnu, Dhruva got all Vedic literature in his consciousness and he started to offer very beautiful prayers. Lord Vishnu asked Dhruva, "Dhruva, what do you want? Please ask. Whatever you need, I will give you." Then Dhruva said, "My dear Lord, I was searching for the broken pieces of glasses. Now I got you. I don't need anything more. Please don't make my devotional service as a business. I want to just serve you whole life." Now see, Dhruva started his devotional service with big passion by having desire of getting a kingdom greater than Brahma. But in course of practicing Krishna consciousness, he got purified. Therefore, we often recite this verse and Prabhupada would often quote it. Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo dharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham puram. Akamo, if you don't have any desires, fine. Sarva kamo va, if you have all kind of desires, fine. Moksha kamo dharadi, if you want to get liberated, fine. Tivrena bhakti yogena, become engaged in devotional service. Tivrena, intensely. If you engage in intense practice of devotional service, Yajate Purusham Param, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will fulfill all your desires and He will purify you also. That sometimes children go to mother, that mother, we want to eat chocolates. So mother would give them chocolate, but she may say that, okay, if you study for 1 hour, I'll give you chocolates. So this is God. He will give opulence, but He will purify also. He will not give anything which will be detrimental to Jiva's Krishna consciousness. Because we are fools. We are asking for sense gratification. But Lord is not fool. Lord says, Ami bigya ei murkhe vishay ke badivo. He is fool that he is asking for sense gratification. But I am not fool. How can I give him sense gratification? Because if I give him sense gratification, he will be miserable. He will rot in this material world. So Ami Bigya, Ei Murkhe, Vishay ke badivo, Sway Charnamrita Diya, Vishay Bulai. I will give him nectar of my lotus feet so that he forgets sense gratification only. So that is Krishna's plan. Dhruva came to Krishna for getting material opulence. But when he was practicing Krishna consciousness, he forgot everything. When he saw Lord, he forgot everything. And now he's asking that, Lord, I just want to serve you. I don't want anything else. Don't give me anything. Lord says, no, Dhruva. See, people of this world are attached to results. And they will quote your example. So if I don't give you results, people will stop taking to the process of Krishna consciousness. So I will give you results. So you will get kingdom greater than Brahma. And what could be greater kingdom than Brahma? Vaikuntha. So Lord gives a place in material world called as Shweta Deepa, which is actually a portion of Vaikuntha. When Lord resides, Kshiradakshai Vishnu resides, and there Lord gives Dhruva chance to become the king. And Lord says, as long as you are in the material world, you will rule the material world. Then you will come to Shweta Dvipa and rule there. And after the annihilation of this world, after Brahma's death, you will come back to Godhead. You will go back to Godhead. So like that, Dhruva was blessed by the Lord. And here, King Uttanpad, Suruchi, Suniti all got news that Dhruva got mercy of Lord Narayan. So they came. They all came on elephants, horses, and chariots. And with great pomp, they took Dhruva back to the kingdom. Dhruva was enthroned as the king. And soon after, Uttama was killed by Gandharvas, and Suruchi was bitten by a snake and she was killed. Look what offenses do. Although Dhruva was not pure devotee when Suruchi offended him, he was not pure devotee that time. But later he became pure devotee. So that offense came to Suruchi. So we should be cautious. Who will become pure devotee, we don't know. So we should not offend anybody. Because today we are offending any devotee. Tomorrow if you become pure devotee, that will come as a great offense on our head. So we should be so cautious. We should not offend anybody. Anybody can become pure devotee. Everybody is a potential pure devotee. So we should be so cautious. But Dhruva was so angry that why Gandharvas, Yakshas killed Uttam, my brother. Dhruva wanted to take revenge. And he started to kill all Yakshas. See, Dhruva was passionate from his childhood. Even after seeing Lord, he remained passionate. So sometimes, devotees may continue their background. They may continue their likings. That doesn't mean they are not pure devotees. Simple example, like imagine somebody is from Bengali culture. From birth, he is eating rice. Now, if he comes to your place, you say, Prabhuji, anyway, you are pure devotee. You only want to take Mahaprasad. You're not affected by material things. So I'm not preparing rice today, you eat chapatis. No. It doesn't happen like that. Every devotee has a background. Every devotee has some likings. And they carry it throughout life. That is their nature. And we should try to serve them as per their likings, as per their nature. So Dhruva was passionate in childhood. He was passionate now also. And he started to kill all the Yakshas. Then the ruler of Yakshas, Kuber, had to come. And Kuber told Dhruva that, Dhruva, please don't punish all the Yakshas. One Yaksha killed your brother. But punishing the whole Yaksha community is not good. So please forgive them. And on instruction of Kuber and Manu, Dhruva Maharaj stopped. He stopped killing Yakshas and he was peacefully situated in his kingdom. So that is the difference between devotee and demon. Demon make mistake, devotee make mistakes. But demon don't want to accept their mistake. But devotee, they accept their mistake. So Dhruva accepted and he was living his life peacefully. After a few years, it was time for Dhruva's departure for the spiritual world. So a Vaikuntha plane came with two Vishnudutas, Nanda and Sunanda. They came to take Dhruva Maharaj. And it's not that Dhruva Maharaj was in the community of sages and other devotees, and he told all of them, see, I am going to Vaikuntha. You rot in this material world. I am going. Tata, bye bye. No. Dhruva was so humble. He went to all the sages. He bowed down to them individually, took their blessings. He took blessings of all the elders in the kingdom. And then he prepared to climb on the Vaikuntha plane. Just as he was going to climb on the plane, one person started coming nearer. And he was saying, Dhruva Maharaj, please wait, please wait. Who was that person? He was death personified. Death personified came there. He said, Dhruva Maharaj, you are going in this body to Vaikuntha. I have no problem. But at least purify me. So I will just bow down. And you place your foot on my head and then climb on this Vaikuntha plane. So death bowed down in front of Dhruva Maharaj. And he climbed on the head of death to the aeroplane. Our Guru Maharaj used to teach this pastime very nicely. He would say, this is art of dying. People are teaching art of living. Even animals know art of living. That is not a big deal. But we have to live. We have to learn art of dying. Because this is what is critical time in our life. We all have to die. We all have to leave this world one day. So how to die? Die like Dhruva Maharaj. Where death also will bow down to devotee. Devotee is not concerned either in this life or next life. He has to worship Lord Narayan. He has to be in the service of Lord. But death comes to devotees to get purified. This is glory of devotee. So Dhruva Maharaj climbed on the chariot, on the aeroplane, and death took blessings. All the sages offered their prayers to Dhruva Maharaj, and Dhruva Maharaj left for Vaikuntha. As he was in the plane, he remembered. He asked Nanda and Sunanda, you know, whatever I am achieving today is because of my mother, Suniti. Can I take her also with me? So Sunanda told, look, Dhruva Maharaj, your mother is going ahead. She is going on another plane before you. So this is devotee's attitude. He is always grateful. We should never be ungrateful. Don't forget those devotees who introduced us in Krishna consciousness. Don't forget those devotees who helped us in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes it happens. Those devotees who nourished us in initial years, those who introduced us, those who helped us so much, and now we become so established in our devotional service, we forget them, we neglect them. No, this is not Vaishnava culture. We should always be grateful to everybody, everybody. When Ramanujacharya was going to Tirupati, he asked one villager who was just taking out water from well. He asked, where is way to Tirupati? And this villager showed him the way. And Ramanujacharya, who was the Acharya of Sri Vaishnava community that time, he bowed down to that villager and offered obeisances. Other Vaishnava asked Ramanujacharya, Guru Maharaj, why are you going to this villager? He said, he's showing us way to Lord Venkatesh. He's our Path Pradarshak Guru. How can I not bow down in front of him? So that much grateful a devotee should be. Dhruva Maharaj was going in airplane to Vaikuntha, but he's remembering his mother. And Srila Prabhupada writes very beautiful purport. He says that this is my hope that one of my disciples will become pure devotee, and when he will go back to Godhead, he'll remember me, then I will also go. Such humility Srila Prabhupada had. That I am preaching with this hope that one of my disciples will become pure devotee, one of my followers will become pure devotee. And when he will go back to Godhead, he'll remember, yes, Prabhupada taught us this thing, so Prabhupada will also go. Actually, it is his humility. By his power, we all will go. When Prabhupada will go back to Krishna, he's with Krishna, he'll remember, yes, my followers are there in material world, please bring them back. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, where we have such wonderful examples to follow. like Dhruv Maharaj, like Devahuti. And this is the beauty of Bhagavatam. Therefore, yesterday also we were discussing, this is beautiful Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam means beautiful Bhagavatam. We can just enrich it again and again ourselves. We dive into the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam again and again. And we can experience what spiritual life is. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. So, any questions? Devotees can ask if they have any questions. Anybody have any question? Mataji? Yes. You can ask directly.
So, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for wonderful class. I have one question that you mentioned that Suruchi, she offended Dhruv Maharaj and she got punishment for that she was bitten by the snake. But is it not that because she did this act, Dhruv Maharaj got that inspiration to do bhakti and do austerities and he became bhakta after that?
That is right, but it depends on our intention. Our intention was, Suruchi's intention was not to help Dhruva. It is Suniti's interpretation of that situation which helped Dhruva. Imagine Suniti would have told, no, it's your right, you should fight for it, I will go and I will chastise Uttanpad. Then Dhruva would have never become devotee. It is Suniti's interpretation, Suniti's mood, how she took that situation. But Suruchi's point was just to offend Dhruva. And you know what? One point I missed. Dhruva was more affected by Uttanpad because Uttanpad remained silent. Sometimes we think that we will be silent and we'll be saved. No. Dhruva felt that, okay, my stepmother was chastising me. She was rebuking me with bad words. But why my father was silent? She should have stopped her. He should have picked me and patted me. But Uttanpad was also silent. That made Dhruva more angry. So their intention was not to help him. But Suniti inspired Dhruva, don't have any malice. They are not the reasons for your sorrow. Rather, this is an inspiration that you go and worship Narayan. So all credit was of Suniti, not of Suruchi. Any other question? Okay, so we end here and tomorrow we meet again and we'll discuss from 5th and 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur
Hare
Premanand.
Krishna. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the wonderful session again. And the nectarian session, you are making us love Srimad Bhagavatam so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.